Okay, so I'll admit I kind of enjoy the horse's ass analogy, but it really is all about trying to get in the groove, trying to sort of find the the patterns in a shoe without thinking for one moment that you can predict anything. You can't. You have to remember every bet is more likely to lose than to win. Okay, and whatever went before is not a predictor of what's coming next. But it's the old story, the one that I keep sort of harking back to, banging on about. And that is that if you have a fixed strategy, a tactical approach to betting against these games, you will more often than not find a way to get out of this sort of like thing that most people fall into, which is they're zigging when the shoe zags and zagging when it zigs, and they're missing the ebb and the flow, the back and forth, the ping and the pong, all of those things. There are loads of cliches which apply to what we're trying to do here, but please don't ever imagine that you can predict anything based on what's happened before. You just can't. The way that casinos want you to think is they want you to think that it's all happenstance and pure luck and there's nothing you can do about it, and you might as well relax, enjoy it when you hit a plus streak, and just suffer and consider it fun when you hit a mean streak that wipes you out. That's what happens to most people. It will happen to you if you don't have a sensible tactical approach to these games. But like I keep on saying to you, you can't do it without a shitload of money behind you. That's annoying, it's frustrating, but it's the truth. Plain and simple. Hello again. Um, yeah, this is the latest summary of sessions since the 23rd of October. And we're not seeing any red ink at all in the volume result thing down here. We're seeing volume lost and volume won and bets won and bets lost, and quite often the bets won is less than the bets lost there and there and there and there and there and there, not there, 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 not there, not there. I mean, it's a sort of be careful what you wish for situation, because I just had a feedback from a guy saying that pattern betting is stupid because I got to look this up because it sort of so surprised me that I don't remember exactly what he said. Oh, now I can't find it. It was something like because it doesn't take into account which way the shoe is likely to go. And my response to that was that anybody who thinks that they can predict anything based upon what happened before in any of these games, baccarat, blackjack, craps, single zero roulette, any of those games, is an idiot, because you just can't. I mean, every bet is the same in that it's more likely to lose than to win. And to sort of say that, because there were 16 bankers in a row, then there's a better possibility, a greater possibility that the next bet will be, or the next result will be player. Utter nonsense. But, and then the next thing the guy said was that somehow I manipulate or replay things that don't go well. And it's quite obvious that he hasn't looked at any of the demos that I put up, simply because there's this clock here constantly going second by second. And then there's the fact that the simulation platform records every spit and cough. So there's nowhere that I can manipulate, or no how that I can manipulate it. The next page will probably have some reds on it. This is frustrating because it does take a while to load. What I should have done here is Hang on. Yeah, that's one area of weakness in this magnificent simulation platform. It takes forever to produce the reports on sessions, and obviously, what you see here is you're seeing going all the way back to August. You're seeing sessions like this one here, and this one here, and this one here, where I ran away. Basically, I just ran away. I went off to blackjack and turned it around over there. And this is the whole point. Of course, it doesn't matter what game you play. It doesn't matter whether you stick with baccarat and jump into a new shoe, or whether you decide to gag, which is get up and go, walk away from a shoe and switch not to a new shoe of baccarat, but to a session of blackjack or anything else, craps if you like. I would normally only go to blackjack and to because I think it just makes more sense. But even with these factored in, we have a situation where there's absolutely no doubt that going all the way back to the 26th of August, even if these shitty sessions, which were resolved at blackjack, were to be included, still be ahead at baccarat. So I don't really get what this guy is saying, but on the other hand, I feel bound to deal with it because it's so off the wall. It's so sort of contrary to evidence which I keep producing. In pretty much every one of these sessions that I put up, I do a reference back to sessions or prior wins or whatever, just so that somebody coming in for the first time can see just how effective this strategy is. And then along comes somebody who says, "Oh, that's no good. That doesn't work." Let's go to the chart here. And I moved everything over, or obviously not quite far enough. I've got to move it another couple of columns. But you can get the picture here of how it's been since 1905, which is about, number 1905, which is about the 20th of October. We've made 375, nearly 376,000. We've had a few bumps along the way. Yeah. But this is the worst one. We were at, the bankroll was at 269,000, and we had to dig 43,000. We went 43,000 down before turning around, bouncing back up to 273. And this is the point. I mean, this is what this damn strategy is all about. And I don't know, every time I see somebody saying sort of silly stuff like that, I think, what is their agenda? They're not looking at the evidence. They're not looking at the sessions. They're not sitting through the demos to figure out how it's done. They're not paying attention to the fact that the clock is there constantly, so there's no opportunity for me to cheat. And they're not taking into account the very simple fact that hell's bells, it's there for all to see. Oh God, it's just weird. Weird. Anyway, let me put in those extra couple of columns. And there we go. It all fits in nicely. So next time I have to do that, it's all ready for action. My bad. I'm adjusting all the time to various different conditions. It's only recently that I set up the chart here, and this stuff is kosher. I'm telling you. I mean, this is exactly the numbers that you will see. Because they're all here. I mean, over here, there is absolutely no doubt. I don't want to move this over because it's a pain in the arse. Then this will disappear. But what you're getting here is you're getting a full summary of every single shoe, and it's just not cheatable. It's not manipulable. It can't be rigged, fixed, crooked, any of those things. So when I see something like that, I think, okay, here is somebody who is looking at this and debunking it in a very kind of ungrammatical, rather unintelligent way, because they have a reason for doing it. They've got an ulterior motive which is not being stated. But anyway, it's all completely irrelevant. I'm going to go back to, and here we are with where we're at. And now we have to play baccarat, which I'm more than happy to do. And we're set on fast. And we're 8 minutes in, so this is going to be just a couple of sessions, probably. Start new shoe. Oh, shit. Hang about. All right, so we get to start a new shoe. I'd forgotten to create a new session, and that's important. So start new shoe, and away we go. I mean, you know, everybody has the right to respond to this however they like, and they can be as cynical and sort of suspicious as they want to be. It's a free world, ain't it? You know, so I'm not upset by any attacks on me. I expect them. I've been taking them for years, you know, and it's just it's just what happens. 51. But, you know, it is absolutely impossible to predict anything. And there's just so much in this particular platform, in this particular simulation, which enables you to get a grip on how impossible it is to predict anything. It's a waste of time. If you've got any kind of strategy which pretends to be predictive, then it's going to be absolutely useless. And this is a double for the tie. And that's tip, 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 tip. Oops. Okay, now we're on 3-4. And there we've got it. Bingo, bango. Back to the men. I mean, please, if you are relying on a strategy, you know, which says if so and so happens, this must happen next, then you are barking up the wrong tree. You are climbing the wrong tree. You are sure to fall flat on your ass. And you need to be aware of that. That looks to me like a 1, 2. And that's a 3, 4. Oh dear. 7, 8. Bugger! There we go. Yeah, as I sort of say in the in the thumbnail, you know, I've used all sorts of analogies for what I'm doing here, and not all of them work, but I have fun inventing them and then dispensing with them. But one I kind of like, I mean, it came up first time years and years ago, is that pattern betting is sort of like horse riding. When you're riding a horse, what you need is your bum to be going up. At the same time, the horse's rear end is going up. You do not want your bum to be coming down when the horse's ass is going up, because that will hurt. You know, so it's just not recommended. And that's how it is. You know, it's just all about going with the flow, getting in the groove, and there's no way to predict it. You just do it. And, you know, when you get, every so often I'll get shoes which are an absolute piece of piss. And I like them because I like it when it's easy, but I certainly don't expect it. And I'm not sort of sitting thinking, okay, now what is going to happen next? That's not what I'm in the business of at all. This is 2-3. And there we go. I didn't predict anything. I just altered my bet in the hope that I got it right. Not the expectation, only the hope. And hope and expectation are definitely not the same thing. I did hear this comment not long ago, which rather depressed me. It was, hope is merely disappointment delayed. I thought, oh dear. But I've always been a glass half full guy, so what do I know? Okay, now we seem to be in a little bit of a nicety here. We don't double those. Oh, do we repeat that one? How many did I get? No, I didn't get one, so I repeat that one. Now we go for 3-4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not because we expect to win, but because we hope to win, and we want to have the right amount of money out. And we didn't. So now we're on 7-8. So right now our bum is coming down while the horse's arse goes up. And that's not good. 15-8, and we're going over to the banker. Bugger! All right, we'll go to 15-16 now for the tie. Oh dear. So that's going to be 3.5, 4. So we're going to do this, and then we will run away if we lose. We did lose, so it's 7.5. So it's going to be 7.5, so 8, 9. We're going to run away from this, and the next bet will be on player. Never, ever, and this is my personal preference, with a new shoe, don't ever bet on banker first. So we're going to be betting 9. Can't say I like it when it gets this high, but it does from time to time. It's a horse's arse situation. We could use a player win here. Oh, look. I didn't predict it. I just said to myself, hey, I want to put my money on player because I don't like betting on back, especially when it's a large amount, which is going to attract, I mean, what the hell would that be? A lot of money, commission. Don't like that. +1. And you can say all you like, blind luck. It's not blind luck because just look at the damn record. I mean, really. Oh dear, we're up shit creek again, aren't we? Oops, oh, it's going to be 3-5 now, isn't it? I don't usually bother to fix those mistakes because the odd 100 here or there don't make any difference, does it? Double for the loss. 1, 2. Thank you. Minimum. +1. Yeah, I can't imagine anybody dumb enough to think that they can predict anything at this game. But there are people out there who think it makes it more fun, and you'll see it with Bobby Rivas in particular. I mean, he will look at the board and say, well, this so and so is going to happen, so I'm going to switch from player to blah 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 blah. Doesn't work. Does not work. Pattern betting, however, does work. Except if you don't look at the videos, you don't look at the demos, you don't watch the procedure, you just come out with silly remarks. 1, 2, 3. And yeah, he's entitled to do that. I'm entitled not to enjoy it. 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Damn it. That's 11-6 going over to the bank. All right, now 5-7 to cover the commission. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Don't ever chase commission afterwards. Work it into the turnaround bet. And there we go. Minimum. Didn't predict it. I just did it. And that's a repeat. That's a double for the tie. Minimum. Double for the tie. +1. plus max. I will not go higher than 5, but it's my choice. You can do what you want. Okay, we're going to have to repeat that one. And now we're on, this is the last bet on the banker, unless we win, of course. Okay, so now we're 2-1 in 500s on player. 3-2. 1-2. 3-4. And there it is. In the bag. No prediction required. Two, 3. 5, 6. This is a bumpy shoe, isn't it? The horse's arse is going the wrong way. 11, 6. Again! We have to go to bank. Look at this, 1919. We have to go to banker again. 11, 6. All right, 17, 20. And then we're going to run away. Going to run away from this shoe. Don't like it anymore. Oh, don't have to run away because we just nailed it. Without predicting it. So I might be overdoing my response to to that guy, but it really was silly stuff. I think this last one is going to be 3-5. There it is. Bagged. Banked. What happened there? I lost? Well, who saw that coming? Stuck with the bank still. I could move anytime I wanted to, but I tend to go with what the strategy says because it took a long time to get it right. I mean, it's been right actually for a long time, but getting it righter is what I'm trying to say. It's better now than it was a year ago. Might even be better now than it was 6 months ago. But whatever. All right, so now we're going to double for the tie. All right, so that's going to be 2, 3. We're good. Plus 1. Yes, I think my latest critic probably hasn't looked at any of the play. That's my guess. He certainly hasn't studied baccarat. Repeat. Still on the bank. Keep getting saved at the last minute, don't we? 3 play is a big part of this, of course. It's this whole thing where, with the exception, until you get to where the next wet bet will be 1,000. Like if I start out on player, then you will have noticed, I hope, that I'll go, 25, 50, 200, 400, 800. As soon as I get to the 800, the next bet should be 1,600, but I freeze the bet just for one turnaround. One round, and go to banker or in the opposite direction, depending. But I'm more aggressive against banker because I want to make sure that I never get nailed for that damn commission, which I don't like. Double for the tie. That's 3-5. Last bet on the bank. Okie dokie. 2-1. 1-2. There we go. Very nice. Good session, this. No prediction whatsoever. Okay, now the next bet should be 1-2, so I think I'm going to roll. No, I'm at 23 minutes, so I'll stop it here. Let's have a look and see what we got. All right, so that you can see very clearly that loss of 6,000. That was bad. But yeah, I mean, if you seriously imagine that you can, based upon what you've seen, you can predict anything, then you are definitely going to get into serious difficulty. It's just a fact. Let me stop for a moment and. All right, so there we have it with 7,139. We just added to the bankroll, which gave us every time you do this, you just get a bit more strength, a little bit more power, a little bit more kind of safety, if you like, But you've got to keep building the bankroll, and being greedy and being stupid and being tilted or emotional or any of those things it's just not a good plan. I'm sorry, but that's how it goes. And I'll keep hammering away against any notion that you can predict anything. I mean, it's just, look at this. Just look at this here. You see the ghost shoes here. The ghost rounds. Who can predict anything? I mean, I decided to run away at this point, and it was the wrong thing to do because, we don't know what happened. Okay, I'm in the wrong place. I should be looking at that. So it would have been a player win, a player win, a player win. So what I should have done is run away to player. Oops, no. Banker won that one. Player won that one. Banker, player, player, player. Now these three here would have turned us around. And if not, these two here, and if not, because the key is you're in trouble if you lose three in a row because you have to either freeze or hop. Well, freeze and hop. I'm sorry, I'm being a bit sort of woolly here. What you do, you've seen me do it. I mean, this is one reason why I keep recording the whole session, because I start to blather a little bit when I try to explain it without going through it step by step. So I much prefer, and I think it's more beneficial to folks out there trying to figure out how to do this. It's much better if I go, okay, bet by bet by bet by bet, whether it's baccarat or blackjack. But I am irritated by because I can take criticism when it's constructive, when it's sensible, when it's evidence based. When it actually means something. But having some twerp come from out of the woodwork and say it's stupid because it doesn't take into account which way the shoe is going. I mean, what kind of crap is that? It's just blah 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 blah. Anyway, let's have a look at the next one, and I'll fix them in the edit. And this one, of course, was, and then technically I've got, the next time I do this, I will add, I'll start with 200, but it's just tidy for me to stop right now because it got a little bit windy. So there you have it. And I'll be back with the Excel analysis. All right, so number 2060 here and here is the first of today's two shoes. There'll probably be more today because I'm sort of fired up now to get more information going about how things have been of late. And I'm grateful to anybody who takes the time to comment on what I'm doing. And I've put the comments in here simply because I don't really understand what this guy is talking about. I haven't exposed his name simply because, why should I? Pattern betting is the stupidest way to play because it doesn't have any bearings on how the shoe will play out. I misworded my response slightly. I don't know where the light got in there, but anyway, that's funny. Anyone who believes that he can read a shoe and predict outcomes deserves to go broke. Pattern betting is responsive, not predictive, and that's precisely why it works long term. If you prefer not to believe the evidence of your own eyes, that's your right, but please dial down the nonsense. And then some more nonsense here, which completely mystifies me. One more thing, you only use simulations that can be misleading due to the fact that if you get destroyed, you can reset playing. With live money is a total different situation, because if you got destroyed, it's not just easy as resetting like in simulations. Put your real money and see how it can change both financially and mentally. Well, as I've explained many times, I did that over countless years in casinos in Nevada, and I had to play a dialed down version of this simply because I had a living to earn, I had a job to do, I had a family to raise, I had bills to pay, and I couldn't be, sort of silly about things. I just don't know what to say to this guy. I've said all I can, which is okay then. But last shoe here is the turnaround shoe. And what I like about this set is, as before, I've enjoyed it because it had a negative expectation, a negative actual value, -5.5%, should have lost 2,042, multiplying that by the action, and instead we've got a 19.1% win percentage, 7,140 over that action. And it's the old story, take it or leave it, believe it or not. But I do find it strange when people attack any sort of attempt to beat these games without evidence, without common sense evaluation, without logic applied, but most of all without any backing whatsoever. And these two messages here indicate a somewhat sloppy grasp of what's going on here. But again, it's a free world, a free country, so whatever. I think there's going to be a little bit of a problem adding up the total number of negative AVs, so I'm going to go and check that. Okay then, so everything is tickety-boo. There's some sort of weird little thing happens with these negative AV things. It just coughs, and I have to just recopy it. And never mind, it's not something you need to worry about, but it's just a bit of an irritation. Anyway, what are we looking at now? We're looking at the AV has hardened to -1.7%. The win over loss percentage, the win percentage has improved to 12%. Multiplying that by the total action, we should have had a loss by now of 53,000. Instead, we're looking at 383,000 winnings. We are looking at ties around 10%, which is about right. Banker over player is still a bit on the high side. I don't quite understand this, because usually this is around 1.3, 1.4%, but it is only 157 shoes, as people love to point out to me from time to time. So it's cool. I haven't updated the chart yet, so I must go and do that in a moment. But let's drop down to the bottom. It's 100 hours exactly of play at 70 bets per hour, which is probably a bit optimistic. But hey, it really doesn't matter very much, does it? 3,800 an hour on average, -1.7%. Well, we got those numbers there, which we've had before. And this is the actual number here. And average winning bet, 130, it's still the same, 132%. 132%. And we are winning 49%. It's probably a little bit better than that. Let's have a look, see what that. If I add, yeah, slightly better. But I mean, all I can do is just give you the evidence, and you decide. You know. But I'd rather not hear from people who don't have anything sensible to say. I mean, it's frustrating. Anyway, I'm going to pause again for just a second. The clock isn't running, so you don't know the difference. But um, okay, so here we go. The chart is still looking very nice. Thank you very much. In spite of my inability to predict what's going to happen in the world, I do find it amusing, but also a little bit irritating. It's sort of like a lack of seriousness. That's the frustration for me. Because this is a serious business. This is business. Business, business, business. Not fun, not relaxation, not excitement, not free drinks, not staying up all night and being stupid, not farting and asking the world to listen, any of that stuff. So there we go. Modest win, 7,139 in 23 minutes. I don't think that's terrible. But yeah, there are plenty of people out there who would say, chicken feed. Throw it away. Forget about it. Give it to the poor.